Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddha Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sahajadam Sahagana Raghunadan Vittam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishobhana Nanda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. I am Rangaraj Das from ISKCON Srirangam. I am very happy to welcome you all for this today, the inauguration and of this 18 days Bhagavad-gītā program. One chapter day. So very auspicious day to begin anything, very important activities, because Akṣaya means inexhaustible, unlimited. So the knowledge that Bhagavad-gītā offers us, or Bhagavad-gītā, the knowledge that is contained within Bhagavad-gītā is inexhaustible. Therefore, this is a very good and auspicious beginning for all of us to come together, discuss about what Krishna has spoken in the Bhagavad-gītā for the benefit of day on which Lord Parasurama advented, and also Vyasadeva started writing Mahabharata on this day, and Mother Ganges was brought to earth or the material world on this particular day. Like that, there are many attributes given to this Akṣaya-tṛtīyā day. So therefore, this is a good day to start our learning or study of Bhagavad-gītā. And Lord Krishna is like a cowherd boy or cowherd man. He is milking the cow. And the Bhagavad-gītā is that milk or the essence. And Arjuna, like a calf, he drinks the essence of the Shastra. So Bhagavad-gītā, in a way, if you look, Prabhupada says, it is the essence of all the Vedic literatures. We have many parts of the Vedas, 4 Vedas, 108 Upanishads, 18 Puranas, Upapuranas, Itikasas. So all the essence of these various Vedic scriptures are presented by the Supreme Lord uh, in the 700 verses of Sri Bhagavad-gītā. So therefore, if you learn Bhagavad-gītā, that means you are learning the essence of the Bhagavad-gītā. And Srila Prabhupada also says that, quoting from Gita Mahatmya, if one takes bath in the Ganges, it takes some time for him to get purified or get rid of his sins, etc. But one who takes bath or dives deep into the Bhagavad-gītā, he gets cleansed. He gets cleansed immediately and for eternity. So therefore, the knowledge of Bhagavad-gītā is very, very important for every one of us, particularly human beings. Today, we will be discussing about the overview of the Bhagavad-gītā. Of the first chapter. So the first chapter is observing the army, because the first chapter, observing the army, the background and how the first chapter starts is very important and very interesting. And the first beginning of actually Srimad Bhagavad-gītā is placed inside Mahabharata. So Mahabharata is a very big epic. In Bhagavad-gītā. So the Kurukshetra war, or Kurukshetra, the battle between Pandavas and the Kauravas, that very in great detail it is presented in Srimad Mahabharata, and we will not go into all those details. At Kurukshetra, this place is still present on this earth near Delhi. There are the two great armies of the Pandavas and armies of the Kauravas are present, ready to begin the battle. And on the Pandava side, there are many great kings and warriors assisted by the Supreme Lord Krishna. And the Kaurava side, big generals like Bhishmadev, Dronacharya, Karna, and many stalwart kings and warriors are present, and the battle is to begin. I think most of you must be aware that what is the reason for this fight. The basic reason, the kingdom actually it rightfully belongs to the Pandavas. Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nagula, Sahadeva, these 5 brothers, actually they are the rightful owners, or they are the rightful kings for the country. due to circumstances, Dhritarashtra happened to be the ruler or the king, and he had attachment for his sons, particularly his son Duryodhana. He wanted to make him the king, or due to his attachment, he wanted to give the rulership to Duryodhana. So therefore, Duryodhana himself was dead against the Pandavas. So therefore, the this is the basic issue on which the two groups are going to begin the war. So this is the background scene for this great Bhagavad-gītā. Now, this war that is taking place at Kurukshetra is informed to Dhritarashtra by Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra is the king, and Sanjaya is his personal servant, secretary, chariot driver. So Sanjaya, he has a special benediction from Sri Vyasadeva that he could see with his divine eyes what's happening in the Kurukshetra war field. So therefore, here the first sloka, this is the scene. Actually, the first to 11th sloka, first 11 slokas, this describes the scene or the events that are happening at Kurukshetra. Now, first sloka, Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra uvacha, Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yusava Mamaka Pandava Chaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. So it's they are assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra. They assembled desiring to fight. This is the question posed by Dhritarashtra to Sanjaya. So here Prabhupada in the purport says, because Dhritarashtra, actually both the brothers, they are all cousin brothers, but still he makes the differentiation. So my sons and sons of Pandu, more attached to his own sons than the Pandavas. As a king, as a protector of Dharma, he should have equal disposition towards both his sons and Pandu sons. But due to his attachment, he is now favoring his own sons instead of following Dharma. So therefore, in this chapter, the chapter starts with the question by Dhritarashtra to Sanjaya. So this first chapter has got 46 slokas. In the first 11 sloka describes the scene, and 12 to 20, that 8-9 slokas describes the auspicious Krishna, the Supreme Lord Krishna, and the auspiciousness associated with the Supreme Lord. And 21 to 27, these 6 slokas discusses about Krishna's love for his devotees. And last 22 slokas that discusses about miseries of material existence or material life. So now let us see background. And Dhritarashtra has asked Sanjaya about what's happening there at Kurukshetra between my sons and the observe or understand the mindset of Dhritarashtra. So the mindset of Dhritarashtra is like this. So he is doubtful of the outcome. Why he is doubtful of the outcome? Because he very well know that he knows very well that the Kauravas, their desire to occupy power by force, by illegal dharma, and the war is taking place in a pilgrimage center, Punya Kshetra, so Dharma Kshetra. So this Kurukshetra is not an ordinary place, it is Dharma Kshetra. Because there are a lot of glories about the Kurukshetra itself. Because that Kurukshetra is the place where great sages, saints have performed great yajna, tapasya. So therefore that is very, very auspicious and punya Dharma Kshetra. So in a Dharma Kshetra, when fight between Dharma and Adharma happens, only Dharma will be favored. So therefore, Dhritarashtra naturally is doubtful about the victory for his sons. So that is hidden in his inquiry to Dhritarashtra. I'm sorry, Sanjaya. And he is also fearful that his sons might be killed, destroyed. And at the same time, he is partial because he is asking, what did they do? My sons and the sons of Pandu, what did they do? So he makes a distinction between his sons and Pandu's son. So therefore, Dhritarashtra's mindset is like this. So he is doubtful situation, or this is the mindset for Dhritarashtra. Now, why he is doubtful? Because this I already told. Kurukshetra is a Dharma Kshetra. It's a sacred place of pilgrimage. And in that land, Dharma Kshetra, only Dharma will be protected. So government should protect righteous citizens, not the unrighteous. So he is trying to protect the unrighteous group. So therefore, Dhritarashtra is very, very fearful and doubtful about the outcome of the war. So for us, the life lesson is if we take care of or if we adhere to the principles of Dharma, and then Dharma will protect us at the time of need. So it is our rightful or bounden duty to follow Dharma. And if we follow Dharma, then the Supreme Lord will be pleased and he will protect us all the time. As Pandavas, they, despite so many difficult situations, they always followed Dharma, they always adhered to the rightful activities, Dharma. So they enjoyed the personal protection of the Supreme Lord. So Krishna is not different from Dharma. Krishna is Dharma personified. So Krishna will protect, that Dharma will protect if we adhere to Dharma. This is the life lesson for us. Then Dhritarashtra is also aware that he is unfair. He is not fair because the uh, kingdom, it rightfully belongs to the Pandavas. But due to his attachment to his son, particularly his attachment to Duryodhana, he he wanted to make him the king, and that is unfair. So therefore, he fearful. So if you are unfair and if you are attached to anything material, then it will lead to fear. So in our real life also, in material life, if whatever, if some things which are too will at times if we have to lose or if we are something which we are attached to, then that will give us pain, sufferings, fear. So uh, too much attachment causes anxiety. So anxiety and lamentation, these two are the uh, symptoms of material existence. We want to possess something, so we want to have something, and we develop attachment. Uh, that how to get, we try to achieve that. So once we achieve, then we always have a fear whether I will lose this. So that way, this anxiety and lamentation, these are symptoms of material existence. So here, Dhritarashtra is too much attached to his sons, particularly Duryodhana. So therefore, he is always in anxiety. He was waiting for the day where Duryodhana will be crowned. So will it happen? When it will happen? So it was about to happen, then it was stopped like that. So he was always filled with anxiety till the end. Then the partiality, where from it comes? Actually, we are all here itself. The lesson begins. Me and mine. So to consider this material body as our original identity, that is wrong. So that will be discussed elaborately in the next chapter. But here, the mentality of me and mine relating to the body, to think I am this body, and all my bodily extensions are mine. That means my wife, children, father, mother, relatives, they are all mine, and material possessions are mine. This mentality of me and mine, this brings, uh, we naturally, if we are bodily conscious, then we will become partial. So these are the reasons, symptoms of the material existence. So Dhritarashtra is partial because of this mentality of me and mine. There is no spiritual realization. Actually, Krishna says, uh, all these uh, living entities, they are my parts and parcel. Uh, so therefore, we are not these bodies. We are spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna, and every jivatma is our brothers. So in the spiritual sense, we are all equal, one and the same, and sharing the kingdom of God. So there is no need to be partial or fearful uh, or lamentation. All these are unnatural to us because um, we are by nature spirit soul. Mamaivamsi Jivaloka Jivabhuta Sanatana. Krishna says, all these Jivatmas, they are my amsas, my parts, my parcel. Krishna is supreme absolute truth. He is completely spiritual, Sachidananda. So we being the part and parcel of Krishna, we are also Sachidananda. So, but due to our connection or contact with the material nature, material world, we started identifying ourselves with the material body in which we are presently living. Actually, that is not our real identity. Our real identity is we are spirit, soul, Atma, part and parcel of Krishna. So here in this case, we find Dhritarashtra actually represents all of us. So we are also in the same mentality. We also think that we are this body. When we feel I am suffering, when we become old, body gets old, then we think I am old. But actually, the Atma, it does not become old. It does not undergo all these changes. So therefore, this mentality of identifying with the body leads to mentality of me and mine, and that leads to partiality. This mentality of me and mine, and we can be impartial, we can be factual in all situations, and we can also, to a larger extent, we can become the avoid this too much attachment. There is a sloka in Tamil Tirukkural, Yadanin Yadanin Ningiyan, Nodal Adanin Adanin Ila. Whatever things that material attachment is the root cause for all our suffering and anxiety. So this is the mindset of Dhritarashtra. And then in the further slokas, we also find, because now they are both the uh, group are the Pandavas and Kauravas, they are assembled, and in the because he is the person who broadcast for the entire war. Uh, though at times Dhritarashtra wanted to be fair and he wanted to follow Dharma, and every time Dhritarashtra wants to be fair, and Duryodhana will get in and maybe shout at him, and then Dhritarashtra will be forced to change his mindset. So therefore, the Duryodhana so what he taught, he goes to this is what is happening before the actual battle start. So Duryodhana Bhishmadev, Dronacharya, he tries to incite them because Duryodhana he, he thinks that Bhishma is got a natural love for the Pandavas because they are fair and they follow Dharma, and therefore he is inclined to help them. But Duryodhana, he to uh, the full uh, from before he goes to the army general, because the war is actually led by Bhishma Dev in the first few days. So he is telling we have enormous strength. Our strength is immeasurable. So this is what Duryodhana tells Bhishma Dev. Our strength is immeasurable because we are protected by Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, Karna, Vyu, other names. Uh, so Drupada, so many. So he's bragging about his strength. At the same time, he is also doubting the integrity of he is doubting his integrity because Bhishma Dev, all in the many times in the previous several events, he has supported the Pandavas, and therefore in this war he may not give his best to us. So therefore he doubts the integrity of Bhishma Dev. These two are his uh, negative points. And the life lesson from Arjuna, Duryodhana's mindset, because he is self-glorifying himself. The other opposite side should tell, okay, this Kauravas army is immeasurable, their strength is unsurmountable. So the others tell about our capability, capacity, glorifying himself for his own army, that it is such and such. So the self-glorification is symptom of in, in real life, because doubting the integrity and also integrity of Dronacharya. Dronacharya, he had because all the both the Kauravas and from Dronacharya, and though all of them were the students of Dronacharya, was very, fond of fine skills in archery. To uh, uh, fight a loyal team, they were Duryodhana. That they, but still he had about integrity. Therefore, here in real life, if we doubt somebody who is very friendly with us, loyal to us, who are close to us, then the very fact that we doubt their integrity will hurt them. They will be emotionally upset. Maybe if it becomes too strong, we may even lose their relationship. So therefore, we will lose people if we doubt them. So those who are friendly, or those who are in a good relationship with us, if we are not transparent, if we do not show our concern for them, if we doubt their nature, integrity, then that doubt itself cuts their feeling, and maybe we will lose them forever. So this way, though Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya, they were fighting for Kauravas or Duryodhana. Because of this, they were not uh, able to give their best. So because they were incited by many times, incited or even insulted by Duryodhana. Okay, so this is how the first setting the scene starts, and then the signs of victory. The the Supreme Lord Krishna blows his conch, and Bhima and others, everyone, these different conches become uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and earth. It shattered the hearts of sons of Dhritarashtra. Because this victory, these are all symbols or signs of victory. The conch of the Supreme Lord, Panchajanyam. This is a transcendental conch. And Krishna is personally presence confirm the present. So Hanuman is present. Devi, she always the chariot of Arjuna is given to him by Agni Dev. These are all the various signs of victory. So the different contests, the Krishna, Pandavas given here. Panchajanya is the Vijaya, Bhima, Baundra, Deva's conch is Mani Pushpaka. So here in the sloka, it is mentioned that the blowing of the respective conches by Krishna and Pandavas, it shattered the hearts of Dhritarashtra, sons of Dhritarashtra. These are all the signs of victory. Even in the end of the Bhagavad-gītā, Sanjaya tells, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sri Vijaya Bhuti Dhunvanidhi Madhir Mamaha. So wherever Krishna and Arjuna are present, in that place there will be opulence, victory, extraordinary power and morality. So that is my opinion. So therefore here, Krishna and Arjuna, the very presence of the Supreme Lord Krishna, it's a sign of victory for the Pandavas. Now for us, okay, this is, it is not just for Pandavas, it's for all of us. The lesson for us is, whoever takes shelter of the Supreme Lord, he has nothing to fear. Even in the midst of greatest calamity situation, anyone who takes shelter of Krishna, he has nothing to fear. Because Rake Mare Krishna Rake. So if Krishna decides to destroy someone, nobody can protect him. So this we have seen and many Puranas we find this. For example, Ravana was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and during war, he was about to be killed by Lord Ram, and Parvati Devi is asking Lord Shiva, see your Bhakta Ravana is going to be killed by the Supreme Lord Rama. Rake Krishna Mare Krishna Rake. If the Supreme Lord wants to protect someone, somebody protect him. Killing, protecting, these are actually really also protecting. When the Supreme Lord kills, that person is protected in a way that we can see how it means protection some when we discuss in detail. So these are all signs when we are on the Supreme Lord's side, that is Dharma's side, then associate us. In this case, in various ways, the sun god helped in different way, twin god helped in different way. Every associate Hanumanji helped of the scene. Then Lord loves his devotees is the second part. The Supreme Lord is addressed as Achyuta. Krishna is called as Achyuta. That means one who never fails. He is eternal, never fails his devotee. Um, Contrary to the relationship we have in the material world with our friends and relatives. So our friends and relatives cannot be Achyuta because even they want to, they cannot promise something. Sometimes we may not be able to fulfill our promise because we are not Achyuta. So then when we are not able to fulfill our promise, then either we are disappointed, they are disappointed, and it can lead to heartbreak and at death, whomever we develop attachment relationship, at some point we have to be separated by the event of death. So the point is, we all have the tendency to love. That is the basic fundamental quality of the Atma, to love and serve. uh, is the inseparable quality of the Atma. So this relationship, the capability or capacity to establish love relationship, if we should try to establish this relationship with infallible, and that one who is equal is the Supreme Lord Krishna. We develop relationship with Krishna, then Krishna is qualities. Hmm? And though he is a supreme Lord, so he comes down to serve his own devotee Arjuna as a chariot driver. So it is such a small menial job he did for he and Arjuna has fully. So uh, therefore, this is the second lesson that we learn from the first chapter. And the final chapters, slokas of the first chapter discusses about the various types of miseries we have to undergo in the material world. We are subjected to symptoms of stresses, and there are different types of miseries. And because of this, Arjuna decides not to fight. That is due to ignorance. Due to ignorance, Arjuna decides not to fight. And Arjuna tells in this chapter, um, "Oh Krishna, my limbs are quivering, my mouth is drying up, my whole body is trembling, the hairs are standing on end." And he was holding the Gandiva. Now the Gandiva is fell off from his hand, and is burning, and is left unable to stand, and mind is reeling, because of these are all various symptoms of the stressful condition. So actually Arjuna represents all of us. So this in material life also we are subjected to, or we need, many times we undergo this kind of stressful situations, and how to manage, how to overcome such stressful situation in real life. It may not be in same scale as Arjuna underwent, even maybe lesser scale. Still, stress can affect our life. So Bhagavad-gītā can help us. The understanding of the essence of Bhagavad-gītā will help one to manage the stressful situation in our daily material life. And three types of miseries are also we are subjected to. One is adhyatmika misery. That is, miseries are sufferings pertaining to our body and mind. So miseries pertaining to the body can be disease and things like that. And mind, that means when somebody insults us, or when we lose somebody, separation, or emotional breakdowns. So all these are affecting the mind. Not, it may not affect the body, so it will affect the mind. So these type of suffering due to body and mind, they are classified, called as adhyatmika miseries. And adidavika, that is miseries inflicted upon us by natural disasters, natural disturbances like earthquake, tsunami, drought, flood, like even this corona. So these are all epidemics. So these are inflicted on everyone by the nature. So therefore, that these are called adidaivata, adidaivika type of miseries. Imposed by the society or community, nation, other living entities, even other creatures. So these are all the three types of miseries which we have to necessarily face as long as we are within this material world. And then Arjuna, he also decides, he tells, I'm not going to take part in this fight. He decides not to fight. And his decision to not to fight is classified. He gives various reasons why he doesn't want to fight. So this can be classified into various categories. So he, out of compassion, because he is a good-hearted person, so he doesn't want, even though he is prepared to lose the kingdom, instead of killing so many people and creating so many other repercussions due to the fight. So therefore, he is compassionate. And then he also tells, after killing all the Kauravas, and that means not just the 100 Kauravas, along with them there are so many others, they are all related to the Pandavas, they are also present. If all these people are destroyed, then how can we enjoy the kingdom? So we can see, to enjoy you need the relatives. Then only, even if you possess a lot of wealth, if you are alone, how will you enjoy? So the enjoyment means sharing with them, showing off. All these are enjoyment. So lots of enjoyment, and these are various reasons quoted by uh, Arjuna. And then we are, since we are going to kill so many people, so many warriors, kings, so this involves sin of killing. So fear of sinful reactions. If you kill somebody, that is a sin, and then in the next life or future life, this sin will uh, affect our life. So the fear of sinful reactions, so that he is afraid, and destruction of family traditions. So these are all various reasons given by Arjuna for not to fight in the war. So this is the overview of the first chapter. So what we have seen, the Dhritarashtra's mindset and Duryodhana's mindset, and from each of Dhritarashtra's mindset and Duryodhana's mindset, what is the life lesson for us, that we have seen. And similarly, the Supreme Lord, he is personally present in the battlefield along with Arjuna, along with the Pandavas. So there are so many signs of victory. The presence of Krishna itself is a sign of victory, and so many other things are also shown as Krishna's Pandavas signs of victory. And then Supreme Lord loves his devotee, because he is the ever well-wisher, and he serves his devotee, um, even taking a inferior role. And then we also see the miseries of life. So symptoms of stress, Arjuna tells so many symptoms that he is experiencing, and various signs of types of miseries. And finally, Arjuna tells, I am not going to fight. Hmm. So this is the how the chapter ends. And that means this chapter, in a way, it is Arjuna's lamentation. This lamentation continues into the second chapter for some few slokas, and then Krishna uh, takes over as Arjuna's teacher or guru, and starts instructing him about the real nature of the self. So with this, we will stop here. Prabhupada tells lamentation or perplexities of life. This is, as long as we consider ourselves to be the body or the material body, uh, we cannot overcome these lamentation and perplexities of life. So the message of this chapter is Arjuna's lamentation. Srila Prabhupada explains that due to ignorance, we start lamenting. What is that ignorance? That ignorance is that to think I am this body, that is the basic ignorance. And because of that ignorance, we are put to lamentation. And due to our identification with our body, we start lamenting. So therefore, this is the wrong or misidentification of the self with the body is the root cause for our lamentation. So that is this, for the same reason Arjuna is lamenting now. So the connection to the next chapter is Arjuna's lamentation continues for a few more slokas in the beginning of the second chapter. And then Krishna, he submits himself to the Supreme Lord, to remove all these sufferings from him, all this ignorance from him. And then when Krishna, Arjuna, when he completely surrenders to the Supreme Lord, then Krishna begins his instructions. So the whole purpose of the Bhagavad-gītā is to direct us to surrender unto the Supreme Lord. So which is being demonstrated by Arjuna, that from this we have to learn this important lesson of how we can surrender to the Supreme Lord out of love, not out of fear, out of love. Hare Krishna, we will little bit exceeded our time. We'll stop here. I thank all the participants or devotees who joined us in today's class.
Hare Krishna
Um,
Prabhu.
yes, ma'am.
I have put my question in the chat box, and
Ah,
my question is you told that you should not doubt people, because if you like how Duryodhana was doubting the integrity of Drona and all those big warriors.
yeah,
But sometimes in life, if you doubt, you're going to lose people, is what was told.
yeah,
But then sometimes when we know that somebody is inimical to us, like if I have to take an example, Vidura knew that Duryodhana and Pandavas were inimical, and that is why he doubted them, and due to which he made the tunnel in the Lakshagraha. Because of that only they were able to save themselves. If that blindly, without doubt, if he had just trusted them, probably they couldn't escape. So sometimes, we may have to doubt. So I was having this thought in my mind.
yeah. You are in a way right, but doubting great personalities like Dhritarashtra, I'm sorry, Bhishma and Dronacharya, um, on various occasions, though they knew very well what Duryodhana is doing is wrong, they kept quiet. Passively they were supporting him, indirectly supporting him. And that means they are loyal because they are not loyal to Duryodhana, but they are loyal to the kingdom. In that sense, Bhishma Dev, he demonstrated. So, and he is doubting them. So that now anyway, but that is his own nature. But in our real life, we may have our brothers, friends. So with them, we should have some transparency, and we should get it clarified. So that doubting them, that can lead to breakup of relationship. But in the what you quoted, Vidura arranged for the tunnel for the safety of the Pandavas. That Vidura knew, he has understood the mentality of Duryodhana and his group. So to protect his the Pandavas, so he had to help them this way. So doubting and because he had enormous previous opportunities in which Duryodhana and his group, they have shown their real nature, inimical nature. So therefore, that is not wrong. But doubting our within our own good friends, then that will lead to this kind of hurt and separation.